Hello, Ben Mankiewicz with you as 31 Days of Oscar continues on TCM. We just spent a couple of hours in the dry desert with The Flight of the Phoenix. Now we're heading out to sea. From MGM in 1962, Mutiny on the Bounty. Hollywood, of course, loves a success story, and the 1935 version of Mutiny on the Bounty was a triumph. A smash hit with audiences and with critics. It won the Oscar for Best Picture, also earned a trio of Best Actor nominations for its stars. Clark Gable, Charles Laughton, Franchot Tone, all nominated for Best Actor. MGM even planned a couple of sequels, including one called Christian of the Bounty. Clark Gable, though, passed, feeling that ship had sailed. A couple of decades went by, and MGM, seeking to peel the masses away from their television screens, decided to produce a widescreen color remake. Director Carol Reed and star Marlon Brando came on board, but the production hit rough waters right from the start. Brando's domineering personality and his demands quickly overtook the production. From the outset, Brando made it clear to MGM he didn't want to just do a retread of the earlier Mutiny. He wanted the story to deeper into what made the sailors turn on their captain and how it all went wrong. Brando also gives a somewhat eccentric interpretation of Fletcher Christian, more of a dandy in a fancy uniform compared to Clark Gable's tough but compassionate take on the character. After a few clashes, Carol Reed jumped ship or was thrown overboard, depending on the source. In came veteran Oscar-winning director Louis Milestone, then in his mid-60s, but it's generally assumed that Marlon Brando was really calling the shots here. Officially, this is Milestone's final feature film. Trevor Howard co-stars as Captain Bligh, competent, yes, but certain he's the only sailor who knows anything, and he blames others for his mistakes. The actors in the crew include Richard Harris and Hugh Griffith. Despite the behind-the-scenes drama, the film earned 7 Oscar nominations, including Best Picture, Score, and Song, as well as technical nods for cinematography, art direction, editing, and special effects. Here's the film from 1962, Mutiny on the Bounty. Marlon Brando had a sweet deal with MGM that could have paid off handsomely. On top of his $500,000 salary, Brando would get 10% of the gross receipts if Mutiny on the Bounty was a hit. It wasn't. The troubled production cost a then whopping $19 million, flopped at the box office, but it wasn't all bad for Brando. The star fell in love with Tahiti, where it was shot, and with a co-star, Tarita, who became Brando's third wife. Despite 7 Oscar nominations, Mutiny on the Bounty came up empty. It lost in 5 of the categories to David Lean's epic Lawrence of Arabia. Ironically, that was the film Marlon Brando passed on to make Mutiny on the Bounty. Coming up, Randolph Scott stars in James Fenimore Cooper's frequently adapted story of romance and adventure set during the French and Indian War, the 1936 version of The Last of the Mohicans. It's next on Turner Classic Movies.
Next on TCM, The Last of the Mohicans, then The Flame and the Arrow, and later, Speedy. Oscar's got the horses tonight.